Say hello. Yes. Good morning. Welcome, everyone. Just again. Say hi. See, look down there with those beautiful eyes. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, to catch up with the wonderful world of animals with Dr. Katrina Warren. Good morning, Katrina. Now, obviously, we're going to be talking about putty tats this morning, and they are fairly special little putty tats, but we've got a good news story. Last week on the program, we talked about lost doggies because hundreds and thousands of dogs every year go missing. A lot get retrieved by owners. A lot find new wonderful homes and get adopted, and a lot, unfortunately, go to doggy heaven. And last week, to focus on this, the plight of lost dogs, we had a couple of little doggies, a 3-year-old terrier and also an 8-month-old Rottweiler cross. And look at that, she was just divine. Now, we've had the good news story on this, Katrina.
Yes, fantastic news. Both the dogs have gone to homes. The little terrier's gone to a home down here in Melbourne. But the lovely story is the Rottweiler. Lots and lots of people wanted the Rottweiler, but the first call through was from a lady who lives up at Noosa. And that Rottweiler, who's now called Samantha, has gone to live on 54 acres up at Noosa.
Oh, can she adopt me?
Oh, that's what we all said. And the wonderful thing is, here's the lost dogs home. We went out on Monday and got some vision of her going up to a new home.
Oh dear. There's so many doggies there. So if people around Australia do want a dog, they are up for adoption. You don't have to go through, you know, expensive breeding processes to get a family pet.
Well, that's right. If you go out to the RSPCA or the Lost Dogs Home, there's so many pets out there, and a lot of them are young as well. There goes, this is Samantha, and she was getting her dew claws. They removed them so they wouldn't get in the way. She's getting them bandaged up. And she was getting a sedative before she got on the plane. And I have to say as well, Ansett flew her up for free.
Oh, big plug to Ansett.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
And here she goes.
She's a bit nervous, I should imagine, but she just doesn't
She's not quite sure where she's going at this point.
The poor bubby girl.
Big day out for her.
And of course, up to Noosa. I mean, this is a good news story.
Off she goes. And
did she get tea and bickies on the plane?
She got the full lunch. She's got there's a new owner, Barbara.
Oh, good morning, Barbara. What a woman Barbara is.
She's got another dog to live with, and there she goes on the beach.
Isn't it? Oh, she will just be the happiest girl in the entire world for the rest of her life. And it's nice to know there are good news stories like that. Oh, Barbara, you're a wonderful woman, and I can only again emphasise the fact that, hold on, kitty cat, emphasise that there's lots of beautiful animals in the dog pounds around Australia. So if you're thinking of, you know, getting an animal, lots of young ones that you can train. But good news, thank you, Ansett, thank you, Barbara, and thank you for the thousands of calls, because a lot of the doggies, besides the 2 stars we had and made, found homes as well.
Apparently they had a great weekend at the Lost Dog Shelters with people that had seen our segment, which is good news for us as well.
Well, Katrina, you brought some fabulous little putty tats in. What makes them so special?
These are special cats. They're called spotted mists, and it's a breed of cat that's been bred here. This one's a little bit fidgety. That's been bred especially in Australia, and they're very good Australian cats because they love to be indoors and they love people.
Which is always good, because cats are the best line I heard about the difference between a cat and a dog. A dog will come when you call, a cat will take a message and get back to you. I thought that was just a classic description of the difference. Now, they are Australian bred, what makes them so good?
They're Australian bred, and a lady decided, True to Stride's the name, and she decided that she wanted to breed a cat that was good for the Australian environment. And she loved the nature of the Burmese cat. And so she crossed the Burmese cat with Abyssinians, because Abyssinians are really smart, alert cats, and also put a quarter domestic tabby cat in there. And that makes the cat a little bit hardier, not so refined as a purebred cat, but kept all the traits of the Burmese.
Because one of the problems with Australia and the environment and pussycats, and I love pussycats, but I can't bear the fact that they hunt. They do kill the lizards and the birds and the wildlife. What about this cat?
These cats, all cats have a hunting instinct. There's nothing really you can do about that. But the beauty of these cats, and as you can see there, they're so affectionate, they love people, they don't have that need to go outside. In fact, a lot of these can live indoors for their whole life and be quite happy because they thrive on the company of people.
Oh, that's interesting.
These ones, I don't know about yours, but mine's purring.
Yes, mine's purring as well.
These little cats.
But so they're, as you mentioned, all cats do have the hunting instinct, but these are less inclined to want to go out and fulfil it. Look at that, isn't that just beautiful?
They're absolutely beautiful. Now, they're less inclined to go out at night. they're quite happy for the whole indoor thing, and that's why I love them. And on top of that, they're so affectionate and they're pretty as well.
And they are called?
Spotted mists, and you can see, if you have a look at this one, oh, settle, you can see the spots on the side here.
Yeah.
And all the cats have these spots, but they come in all different colours. You've got a little...
You've got a fight on your hands there.
You've got a cream one there. This
I must admit, I love the cream because yours looks a little bit more like the tabby cat.
Tabby cat, yep.
But this one does look a bit more like the Burmese.
Yep, she's a pretty little one, and they come in other colours as well. They come in shades of greys.
Are they expensive?
They're around about $240 for a kitten, but they're
that's not cheap.
It's not cheap, but they're from a stock that's really well monitored. Now, the ladies that are breeding these cats are all registered spotted mist breeders, and they're keeping very tight control over who is breeding them. And all males, this one's a little male that you've got, are desexed before they go into homes, unless they're kept for breeding stock. So no one can walk around saying, I'm a spotted mist breeder, unless they're registered. So it's protecting the breed in that way, and they're such wonderful pets.
Oh, beautiful. Look at them.
I was really taken by them. I've met them individually before, and then when I did a story on them for Totally Wild, we went to a house with spotted mist and they just flocked to people.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, also this morning, Dr. Sue Roger Wither has joined us because you're a registered breeder, doctor, aren't you?
Yes, I am, with the Feline Control Council in Victoria.
And you've obviously... How old is the pussycat you've got?
The girl I've got here is 3 years old. She was actually my very first spotted mist, and when I acquired her, I loved them so much that I decided that I wanted to breed this breed, and very quickly phoned Tudor up and acquired another older breeding queen.
An old breeding queen?
Well, she was mature enough to produce, yes.
Nobody can accuse me of that.
We do call them queens, yes.
If anybody... Moving right along. If anybody would like information, there are some telephone numbers here we can offer there, 045 750 227. And even though around the 250 mark, they may sound a little expensive, but if you are looking at the environment, especially if you live sort of on bushlands, it's nice to keep the birdies and the lizards and everything. Not that I'm too fussed on lizards, I'm here to tell you.
And they're great with children too, children and elderly people, because they're not inclined to scratch and attack people. They just want to be friendly.
Good, good. Spotted mist...
Spotted mist.
Spotted mist. And Dr. Sue, thank you very much for joining us this morning. And Katrina, as always, I've thoroughly enjoyed the doggies and all the pets and stuff you brought in. So we'd like to say good morning. Say no morning. Gosh. Well, you're lucky you weren't here last week with the Rottweiler. She could have had you for breakfast. Luckily, she settled just for my coffee last week. But Dr. Katrina Warren, thank you. Always a pleasure.
Goodbye and see you next time.
Okay. You can't applaud, you're frightening the cat. A lot more coming up, but it's right now. Good morning to Moira.